Okay, hopefully everyone can see me and hear me. Let me do a quick check-in to see where we are. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're doing well. Can't see the let me make a screen here. Do this favorite. Put it off here. Can you hear me okay? Got a little delay coming in. Can you hear me okay? Okay, cool. So, all right, guys, we have a few items to discuss. We have a few items to discuss today, just covering the market, talking a little bit about the website and the launch that we have, and also our new program that we're getting ready to launch once we do the soft launch for XChainz itself. Cool. So we'll dive into some of those details. Let me go ahead and do a couple things here. Get this volume down. So I got a little bit of feedback coming in there. So today I'm going to just quickly cover the market, general market, talk about LPC, LGS, then talk a little bit about XChainz and where we are, and then move into like the 100 Partners program that we're getting ready to launch here. So without any further ado, we're just going to covering the market. We're at 136 billion in terms of market cap. Today's a down day, but yet we did have a push up a few days ago. So just looking at where the overall market is in terms of its market cap, we're still moving a little sideways. We've kind of formed that reverse head and shoulders where we have here, we had the first movement, the loop down, and then we moved up, and then down and back up, and then went down a little bit. Now we're just looking for some confirmation to verify that we are in fact that was a reverse head and shoulders, which is a historically a bullish pattern, indicating that the market's on the move up. So that's a positive sign, a positive trend in terms of the overall market. That's including Bitcoin, but without BTC itself, pretty much same pattern. The altcoins are moving similar to what Bitcoin is moving at this point. The overall market, once again, 136 billion. Just moving into LPC. Let's go to MNO. In terms of Lite Bitcoin, we're at a nominal price of 33 cents with 3,351 masternodes and an ROI of 133%. If you look at us overall, where we stand in the overall masternodes race, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 8. We're a couple, almost 300 masternodes less than Gencoin, and we're pulling out and we're pulling up. So I think 7 months in, having the 8th largest masternode network in the world is a great accomplishment. But I definitely would like to be able to pass up Gencoin 275. Great projects. All the projects in the top 10 are decent projects, but I like to compete. And that gets me to some of the other points that I'll bring up later on in today's webinar. So let's look at LGS and where we stand as well. LGS, a nominal price of 59 cents, market cap of about $1 million with a almost 300% ROI, 1,336 masternodes overall. That's good as well. It puts us in the top 10, I think the top 10, 15% overall in terms of masternode network size just for LGS. So LGS is growing, LPC is growing. It's 2019. We have some high expectations. And at the same time, we'll just go ahead and we'll talk a little bit about I know we have a comment like, does anyone else feel the price doesn't matter? More concerned around project development. Sure, and that's from Dev Inglis. Okay, so that's a standard part because initially a lot of people like to talk about the price. A lot of people like to refer to development. I like to talk about both. And to address that point, Dev, I'll mention some things today that should begin to break out those who are more interested in project development and those who are also interested in just the overall progress of the project in the overall market. So let's go ahead, now that we've talked about the overall market in the specific conditions of LPC, LGS, and the masternode growth, which is great. We could talk a little bit in terms of the XChainz update, in terms of where we are. I think I might have mentioned earlier that we are getting ready to do a soft launch for LPC, LGS within the XChainz platform. And just to give you guys some insight in terms of what's happening with it, as I mentioned, there are really three main parts. You're looking at XPay, XCert, and Expose. But then at the same time, and what I'm giving you now is just a preview of like the progress that we made in terms of being able to launch the site so anyone could post documents, send funds, put records, JSON, XML, HTML on a blockchain, and also being able to receive and share those documents with anyone as well. So so far, I'm just giving you a preview in terms of what we've done so far, and this is just my dev environment or my development environment for the launch that we're getting ready to do on the 18th. On the 18th, we'll be able to launch XChainz, which will have LPC and LGS on it. Obviously, you're going to have the wallets, XPay, XCert, and Expose that's available. So with wallets, just some very basic tabs in place where you'll be able to generate addresses or import a private key, either coming from another account. You have your balance, receive, send transactions, and then for XPay, being able to send out transactions. And right now, these are just templates that we have here. Sending out transaction, exporting your private key because you want to own your keys at the end of the day as well. And then XCert, also being able to just certify messages, send basic messages, then send documents and place them on our blockchain. I think I gave a preview of that last week in terms of being able to certify. But right now, the forms, we're still building that out so that we'd be able to do that soft launch targeting the 18th. But for the most part now, we're still doing that building internally, and I'm just showing you just some of the progress that we made each week in terms of the website. So, and actually, Expose is something where you would be able to expose the API out to your organization. So if you'd like to be able to have connections to our blockchain or connections to LPC, LGS, or any other blockchain that we decide to add, you'd be able to do that through the Expose platform in exposing those APIs and putting those out. So right now, just giving you a quick, very brief, this is a raw overview in terms of the site, just showing you some of the development that we're doing, because I know we've been talking about it, but I know it makes sense to actually show you something where you guys will be able to get onto this platform within the next week, like I said, the 18th, and be able to view where we're going. So let me pull this back up to see what questions we might have. Give me a quick second, because I've lost the ability to see questions here. So give me I'm gonna pull this off. Okay, make sure I can see you guys and where you are here. Okay. Questions. Let me see. Some of the comments. I see Brooke going back up. Going back from Dev, English, same as me. Scoop it up where we can. Yeah, just started. Ahmed. Yeah, it's a lot of sideways movement, Gary. But that's looking at that's following what the general market is doing as well. There's Adam here. I don't see any other questions. Will KYC be required? At this point, we're not operating as an exchange. So because we're not operating as an exchange, I don't feel we have to go through KYC. But if it's something where we feel compelled to do it, we actually go through that process. But if you just have a wallet and you want to be able to send funds back and forth, or in the case of when you think about being able to put documents on a blockchain, say think of the case where you want to put a birth certificate or a certification on a blockchain. I don't think you would need to go through KYC to be able to do that, considering that it costs, say, 1/1000th of a penny to post to the LPC LGS blockchain. But what I'm doing for the most part is just beginning to build an infrastructure where businesses can begin to interact with our blockchain seamlessly, or anyone who doesn't necessarily have any experience interacting with our blockchain, they easily could interact with our blockchain by just logging onto our site. We're going to have to start building out infrastructure. We're going to have to start building in companies who have, or organizations or individuals who are interested in being able to build out a website and then being able to integrate blockchain-based services, particularly LPC, LGS, into their platform. So let's see. I see a question from Discord announcement in this, and that's from Dev. Can you post a link in Discord announcements to this document share thing? I'm not quite sure what you're getting when you say document share thing, Dev. Right now, I'll be able to launch this platform. This platform on the 18th. That's the date that we're pushing out on the soft launch for XChainz. On the 18th, it will be a soft launch where you all can begin to interact going through the phase of testing. Obviously, there's going to be some bugs. We're pushing really fast, but we want this to be something that you all can interact with, feel very comfortable with, and at the same time, members of the community who are looking to build their websites or even just looking to build their business can begin to integrate and have the APIs connecting XChainz to their business and be able to either place any type of document, certify it, put it on our blockchain, and then being able to send those documents to other individuals who would own that document. Like, for instance, going back to the case again of a micro-credential, it would be great if I could have my transcripts from kindergarten or transcripts from kindergarten all the way up to graduate school all in one place. It would be great if I could be able to have and own my medical records all in one place. The XChainz platform, particularly through Xcert, you'd be able to own all of your digital assets in one place. At this point, we're starting with a website, then eventually moving to a mobile application where you'd be able to have all those digital assets. Let me see. Claude. I would be interested to know the next steps of LPC to establish itself in the market. When and where will the next ATM machines be installed? What would be, okay, so to answer that question, what it looks like now is in the first quarter of this year, with the arrangement that we have with CoinLogis and the partnership that they have with Venezuela, looking at first quarter ATMs being launched within country of Venezuela. That's based on the information that I know coming from CoinLogis, having LPC, LightPay Coin, Binance Coin, Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, and perhaps later on in the year NIM. But that's just based on my understanding. That's answer to your first question. Good question. Number two, what will be done to attract customers to the machines? And it's not only the ATM machines, but it's also the point of sale devices, the point of sale device as well, like the device here. So we have just planned some incentives to have some discounts around using the devices, like for no fees associated with purchases using LPC. That's one way in which we're looking to incentivize, because we're looking at adoption through the ATM machines, adoptions through the point of sale devices, and that's just physical on the ground, say brick and mortar organizations. And there's also the connections and integrations using the XChainz platform, where you'd be able to put documents on blockchain, send funds back and forth using our blockchain, blockchains or any of the blockchains that are linked on our platform. So it's the case that putting medical records on a blockchain or certifications on a blockchain, you could do that through XPay. Building a store, you could use the XChainz platform to be able to build a store into your to a company's website, so that they can begin to engage in transactions using cryptocurrency. Very easy platform. So that's how I'm building it. I'm building it where it's going to be very, very easy for anyone to come on board and be able to send transactions, put some personal documents on a blockchain, encrypted, private, or open, public. So there's a web strategy, there's a physical on-the-ground strategy, but the on-the-ground strategy, which I think your question is more geared towards, is just the ATMs and point-of-sale devices and brick-and-mortar organizations. So driving adoption, we're going to places that have a need that's transitioning, where they might be transitioning to cryptocurrencies. Venezuela is already there. They've declared themselves as a cryptocurrency country. So, excuse me. It's the case that we're targeting those countries. We're targeting those areas where ATMs may seem like it's a good fit, where you may have a low bandwidth in some, say, mobile devices, and people would like to physically go into a place and pick up, say, cryptocurrency. So that's an approach for the physical locations, ATMs and point-of-sale devices. But like I mentioned earlier, online, XPay is looking to be our gateway by which companies can connect to us, either individually, just walking through the platform itself, going through the XChainz backend, and then connecting via API through the exposed application programming interface. Okay. Now, let me see. So will the X platform be DEX? So looking at it right now, answering that question right now, we're not designing it to be a decentralized exchange, even though at some point we could, to the degree that we add more and more currencies to the platform, more and more blockchains, and that's a service that we could offer if other blockchains are interested in being able to have the capabilities that LPC and LGS actually has. And I see your question, Umberto, but let me get through this first one. But at this point, we're not building it to be a decentralized exchange just yet, even though we could pivot and move in that direction. But at this point, considering what the economic environment is in the overall cryptocurrency space, exchanges are going out of business every day. But I think we have to make progress in just building out a very basic infrastructure so that we can demonstrate a variety of concepts or proof of concepts with our blockchain. Blockchains in general, and the LPC LGS blockchain in particular. As mentioned before, LGS is on this will be on XChainz as well. Umberto. At the same time, we are still having conversations with logistics companies and actually progressing where we're introducing them to the platform. So the things that you're seeing with, like right now with XChainz, or for instance, let me pull up one quick doc and like for instance here, like some of the transactions. Let me see if I can get some early. I think I showed you some of this last week, where you have encrypted transactions that's placed on a blockchain, and then if you have if you're giving the credentials or being given an invite to view, you'd be able to view those credentials and use those credentials to access content placed on the blockchain. Obviously, this right now is not the ideal presentation layer that we like to have. We could present something as simple as, for instance, web pages or HTML and XML. You know, basically here's like a cat picture placed on our blockchain. So it's the case that this is just starting out. This is HTML and HTML and a combination to photos, videos, and things of that nature, because this is a nice, very small web page that's actually been placed on our blockchain through this transaction here, and registered on our blockchain through this transaction here as well. So there are a few things that we're doing, but we want to be able to demonstrate that use case for a variety of different businesses. So let's see. That was the question, answering the question, will the platform be DEX? LGS update, still having conversations. So let me keep it moving. Have you thought about decentralized ATMs whereby LPC masternode holders can each have a share in an ATM and split the fees? And that's coming from Brooke. The answer to that question is absolutely yes, I have. The thing is, I'm strongly encouraging members of the community, and this is my goal for 2019. I have a couple goals in place that I haven't made public, but I'll begin to make some of them public now and having the conversation. Have you thought about the decentralized ATM where LPC masternode owners can each have a share in an ATM and split the fees? So I had thoughts about that, and here's my recommendation so far. If there are masternode owners who are looking to purchase a masternode, not a masternode, but purchase an ATM or point of sale device and have it placed in a particular location, CoinLogis, they're able to negotiate having an ATM put into a particular location and have it managed. But it's the case you'd have to be able to acquire it, handle the issues as related to getting the internet connection, the installation, and then having someone come out periodically and service it. If you're having it placed in the area where you have a masternode owner that's close by, then that masternode owner could perhaps do some of that servicing. We have a lot of partners in place that can make that happen. Like yesterday, if it's the case, masternode owners don't necessarily have enough to be able to acquire an ATM. We have Tritium that's actually in place that could provide loans to be able to acquire. We have Crowdfund Coin, one of our partners, if we're looking to put an ATM in a country ourselves. Then it's the case having those conversations. But I think we need to start building our community more in the sense where it's not just jumping onto the Discord, having some chit chats, maybe liking something on Twitter and retweeting, but getting a few serious masternode owners, potential partners together. They may be from the LPC, LGS community, or from outside of the community, coming together and say, okay, hey guys, what do you think about building an application on the LPC, LGS blockchain, or acquiring an ATM. Let's go to crowdfund coin to see if we can just crowdfund to get the first few ATMs up and going. If it's the case that people want to go that route. Or if you have the funds, acquire the ATM yourself or the point of sale device, and then just walk into a local store and who may be interested in the point of sale device and saying, hey, I have a POS that's available. If you'd like to purchase the ATM, you can. It's the case we have low fees on the point of sale device, and we'd like to do a pilot with you just to show a proof of concept and try to encourage adoption in the cryptocurrency space. So it's a matter of folks getting together in this community, and I'm going to strongly encourage that this year and do a variety of things, moving from one webinar per week. So instead of one webinar where I'm just giving you an update on LPC, LGS, I'm going to do several webinars a week, to the point up to 3. Don't want to just overexpose, but I'm creating a different channel which will be solely focused on the adoption portion. It will be solely focused on building in those partnerships, getting partners in place, getting members of the community more actively involved in building out an application, either a web-based application, or helping to build their business. Perhaps some of you have consulting services, perhaps some of you build websites, perhaps some of you do penetration testing, and have that in place where you're beginning to accept LPC or BTC, or other currency, LPC, LGS, BTC, and then encourage the adoption in your respective communities outside of LPC and LGS. So that segues into the 100 Partners program. I'd like, and I'll state this now before just moving into the next set of questions. Similar to where you have Ripple. Ripple has over 200 partners now. 200 partners in place using their currency in some way, XRapid and Ripple in some way. And some are public, some are private. But now they have over 200 partners. Right now we have less than 10. I'd like to not necessarily depend on Wall Street. I don't think we should be able to depend on the big banks or large financial institutions coming into this space. We have to build our community. I think we've done a great job the past 7 months in building out a large community. And we've had some success. And we've had some success with that. But for 2019, I'd like to have up to 100 businesses or organizations, individuals, saying if you do website development and you would like to use the XChainz platform, coming onto our webinar, live webinars, private links, call it more like a VIP group of 100 individuals or organizations who want to build out a cryptocurrency-based business or a small, say, part-time consulting firm, or there is an organization you know of a company that's interested in cryptocurrency or interested in blockchain and its application, not necessarily within financial services, which is great if they were interested, but for instance, just being able to put some documents on a permanent store, decentralized. How do they go about doing that? Bringing them on to the webinars that we would have on Monday or on Friday, because those are the target dates that I'm looking at after we do our launch on the 18th. So the 18th is a Friday, so we'll do our first webinar, which is more technology focused, more focused on adoption, helping to build out the community of businesses or entrepreneurs looking to push the technology into the space. So that's my initial thought around getting 100 businesses 2019, and I'm making the goal public. When we do our launch on the soft launch on the 18th, I would like for you all to begin to think, if there are members in the community or if you know organizations who are interested in building out a blockchain-based application but don't necessarily have the wherewithal or the technical skills to build out those applications, those webinars that we're going to have on Mondays and Fridays, that's the sole focus. It's not going to be anything talking about price actions, not going to focus on what's happening with the larger crypto market. It's all about building applications. Building applications. It may be you may have a small project that you want to get started. And obviously, we would need to have our time, but it's just being able to build out these communities. So how will we, I'm assuming, and that's coming from Gary, how will we told closer to the time about the soft launch? Discord, we'll announce on all of our channels. And in addition to that, we're going to build out on more than just Discord, more than just Twitter. Same thing, Instagram accounts, fully fleshing out our Facebook page. So we'll be communicating along those channels as well. Telegram too. So we're in building out a business. I've been blessed to be able to have the opportunity to build multiple million dollar organizations. We have to be in a point where we are not only building on our core competency, but also being able to market and sell our services. In order to get adoption, we have to show value, and that's where we have to be able to position blockchain, distributed ledger, and I think the businesses, more organizations are comfortable with the term distributed ledger technology and blockchain more so than saying cryptocurrency. So I think we have to be marketers first and also push along our core competency so that we get more adoption in the space. It's not necessarily about the tech. I think the tech is at an MVP stage where it can encourage more and more adoption. We see the larger financial technology firms, they're getting into the space. You see the IBMs, you see the Deloitte, you see a lot of these large financial services and technology companies adopting the technology because they know it's coming. We are building from the ground up. Let's begin to build. Let's begin to not wait on anyone else to come into the space and infuse capital. We want to be impressive of the 100 businesses of the 100 partner program. If you're a member of the community or you know someone who is looking to build an application, have them come on. We'd have them sign in on the XChainz platform, and then we'd have some of those videos available, previous videos that we've done. We'd have the question and answer session, but it's going to be live, and it's actually going to be links that are available also within the XChainz platform for viewing those videos. So we're going to build. This year is the year of building. Making partnerships, being able to drive. I love to be at the point where we say, hey, we have 50 partners in place. We have 70 locations, or we have 70 websites, or we have 70, a combination of brick and mortar and web-based businesses that have integrated LPC within their, or LGS within their businesses, within their platforms. That's what we need to do. I'm not waiting on anybody at this point. It's 2019. Everybody's been waiting for the bull season. What's going to encourage the bulls? What's going to encourage the bulls to even come in? Are we making progress? I think in terms of our project, yes. In terms of the Masternode community, and I'll make a larger argument for in the Masternode space. I do think in every day you see it, not every day, but for the most part, if you're in the space and you're reading the news, some of the mining companies, more and more of the larger mining companies are going out of business every single day. They're shutting down. Crypto businesses are laying off staff. When you look at some large mining firms going out of business and actually just taking the miners and selling them for scrap, that gives you some insight into what I feel is our opportunity as Masternode, as a Masternode-based cryptocurrency, whereby you can mine or you can protect the network not through a proof of work consensus algorithm, but through a proof of stake consensus algorithm. And you don't necessarily need to have hardware running. That hardware, all of the software can be running in the cloud on servers. So I think it's if I were a mining company, say, what's Bitmain, they were looking to go public, but they didn't go. It looks like they're not going public right now, and they're mining at a loss. Take a pivot, come into the masternode space, look at the top 50, top 100 cryptocurrency, because I think 2019 is the year of the masternode. I'm saying it first. 2019 is the year of the masternode. More and more proof of stake mining companies, proof of work mining companies, they're going out of business because they're running these, they have a large overhead. If you have, say, 100,000 servers or 10,000 servers in the cloud supporting, say, the top 10, top 20, or even top 30 masternode-based projects, you have a viable business in place where you could support the network. You're not having that large overhead. 51%, yeah. I mean, you mentioned 51% attacks are becoming more and more popular. As a matter of fact, I think it was Coinbase the other day. They shut down, what was that, Ethereum Classic? Yeah, I think it was Ethereum Classic because of 51% attack. And they're happening more and more. Why? Because it's the case the miners are going offline because of the overhead. It costs too much to maintain that physical hardware. Put it up in the cloud, guys. Come on over to the masternode space. I think it will be quite comfortable in terms of lifting the profile of masternodes because it has a smaller energy footprint and it's much more cost effective. So that's just my argument in general. It's just for just masternodes. I don't care what masternode you choose. Just begin to support our blockchain. We're relatively young, and a lot of the masternodes are young projects. But I think this is the year where we really begin to shine because we're running efficiently, have a small footprint, and we have our servers in the cloud and not necessarily in some physical location where you have to maintain that overhead. Moving into Azure, Microsoft Azure, or moving into Amazon, or staying in Vulture where most of our servers are actually located. Let's begin to diversify and move into these other cloud-based services like the Amazons of the world and the Microsoft. So that's just the general argument that I'm putting out, just talking more about the case for masternodes, because we're seeing the problem right now with proof of work consensus algorithms and the infrastructure needed to support it. So I think it's an easy pivot that can be made. These organizations would just need to make up their minds to come into the space. Okay, and with that said, I'll just move back to the 100 Partners program. We're looking for 100 partners. If you are someone, once again, someone who's interested in being able to build out your business, or build out your company or your small consultancy, and want to be able to integrate cryptocurrency or just use the excerpt or expose application itself in putting documents on a set of decentralized servers, come on in. We're going to have, on the 18th, we'll do the soft launch, and then that's on a Friday. Then on the Mondays and Fridays in perpetuity, I'm thinking if some of you have full-time gigs and you're working during the day, you could come on in the evening times. I'm thinking around maybe 8 p.m. Central. So once you get off work, if you're on Pacific or you're in Eastern, you still have some time. And if you're not able to catch it during the live stream, you'd be able to come on afterwards because those private videos will be available on the XChainz platform. But think about it. We need to have, and this is my goal for 2019. For 2019, 100 businesses using the XChainz or LitePayCoin or Logiscoin applications through the XChainz app, or receiving those consultation services to build it out on your own platform yourself. We already have distributed documents for building applications on testnet, but it's the case that we'll begin to formalize the training. XChainz was designed to be education, research, development, and commercialization. So we're now focusing hard on that education component to be able to bring on board those businesses, to be able to have working prototypes and then production-based applications, not only in logistics and supply chain, or not only in financial services with LightPay Coin or logistics with Lotus Coin, but also within healthcare, within education. Let's show all the possible use cases that we're able to demonstrate with XPay, Xcert, and Expose. So if you're not interested, we'll have just a couple meetings just to get you all familiar with the things that it can do. We'll walk through the different functionality of XChainz and how you use it, have those training videos in place, and then begin to have more and more documentation. This is about building the community, building applications. Okay, let me see if there are any more questions. I think I'm sorry for going on a rant, but I think it's relevant now that we begin to argue our case, because no one's going to argue our case for us. And if you can, guys, like I mentioned earlier, this is about, we have to do marketing as well. We have to present the case why we are a viable alternative to what currently exists. So as a part of that, we have to market. We have to build our brand. We have to build out our social media channels. We have to build out how we communicate with businesses, getting profiles on LinkedIn, building out that profile on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook. So right now, in that effort, I only see 5 likes. So if you can, guys, click the thumbs up, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell, and let's begin to build out the LPC LGS organization. This is a community, and I like to have you guys look back a year from now and say, hey, we had less than 10 organizations. Now we have over 100. I was there when we just started building. We're getting on webinars every Monday and Friday, building out applications, coming on Wednesdays update to talk about some of the companies and some of the individuals from the community. Because like I said, I like being on camera, but I want to be able to interview every single person in the community who comes in, who's interested in building out their idea, talking about it, and then being able to launch it. As when I first started, before I started my first business, I used to listen to a CD every day on my way. I was at IBM at the time. It's before I launched my first AI company, and I'm driving to work every single day, and I'm listening to this song, James Brown. And if you hadn't heard it, you should get it. Saying it and doing it. So I think you should probably just Google it. I may play it on like one of the 2 webinars that we do each week. But it's saying it and doing it is 2 different things. It's just as much difference in it as night and day. Saying it and doing it, 2 different things. We can talk about building a community, but we have to grow. Let's grow. So let me ask you some questions. Would love to pick your brain some more. Want lunch to be out of the question? Oh no, like my dad told me a long time ago, the only thing you should turn down is your collar, and I did that this morning, as you can see. So I'm open to pretty much everything. Obviously, depending, I guess I'm catching up in another conversation. I have a presentation in a few minutes. Got a jet. Great stuff, man. As always, Powell. You check in with us every day. Hey guys. Like I said, click the thumbs up, guys. Click the subscribe, tick the little bell. Let's build a community. I want us to really build out LPC and LGS this year, and I'm going to run harder than you guys have ever seen me run before. I'm getting very, very aggressive. Some people may not like it. I may start getting some thumbs down or a lot of thumbs down. But if you thumbs down me, give me a reason why we're not heading on the right track. Give your opinions. Some people are not going to like it, but we have to be aggressive if we're going to build this community. We have to be strong. We have to think of some use cases. Partner with organizations. Every single opportunity I get, when I walk into a store and I buy something, I ask them a question. I'm like, when y'all start accepting crypto? Y'all say, that's not, why would we do it? And then I begin to argue that case. I'm thinking about it every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because it's something that we have to start positioning ourselves where we're constantly marketing. We're thinking about how we can extend and enhance the capabilities of our blockchain, and also reaching out to our other brother and sister projects in the masternode space, and even outside of the space, who would be interested in, say, for instance, they would like to put they have on their roadmap that they want to, say, a project wants to put their documents, registered documents, on a blockchain. We may give them a year up in terms of their roadmap. So now, instead of something taking them a year, giving them that opportunity to come on XChainz as well. But it's once again helping to push the entire community. We may not win, but we're gonna be one of the top projects in terms of getting there at the end of the day. So I'll keep Adams. I'll keep banging it. Here we go. So like I said, some people may not like what I'm starting to do now, but like I want to encourage you all. Keep giving the thumbs up. Subscribe to us. Tell your friends about us. Start retweeting, liking some of the videos. Start posting those videos, some of the videos on Twitter as well, on our Instagram channel. Very few projects have an Instagram channel. We need to build out an Instagram channel. Same thing with Telegram, being able to build that out more and more and getting things out and communicating. We have to market. We have to talk. If we're not making noise, people are not going to express an interest. We need to raise awareness and then begin to make the case, because that's what this is all about at the end of the day. How do we get adoption? We have to show that this is better than the current state of affairs. In a variety of ways, we're better than the current state of affairs. For instance, swiping a transaction at a POS, you're going to get that fee that's being charged from the bank. The information is going through so many different intermediaries. At the same time, your information is behind a paywall in some sense, but it shouldn't be the case that it's behind a paywall. Your data is being housed by another entity, in the case of your academic transcripts or your medical records, or for instance, within an insurance company, you got medical claims. People have medical claims. They don't even have their medical records, but what the healthcare insurance companies will do, they'll take your medical records, they'll take your claims, they'll build financial products, and then turn around and sell those financial products to the businesses that may be giving you insurance, and then turn around and selling that back to you. And it's your own data. Why can't applications be built where we own our data, we own our medical records? And if folks, insurance companies or hospitals or research organizations want to use that data, they have to come through our web-based application and then pay us to actually use our data. That's what this reclaiming your identity is all about. This is what reclaiming your digital footprint, taking that digital footprint that currently exists behind these centralized entities such as a Facebook and even a YouTube. Hey, our videos might get censored at this point, but if it happens, we're going to immediately go over to DTube. It needs to happen once. Like I said, we just need to get censored one time, and we're out. So right now, by the end of 19, I'd love to be in a position where top 50, top 100 project. That's one of my goals, just explicitly stating, always from the outset, show the value. If we show the value, then the price action will catch up with it at the end of the day. So I see a correspondence in terms of where our value is and the price action being able to catch up to it. So, and right now we're in the top 1/3 of projects. 7 months being in the top 1/3, I'll take it. But I'm not happy. So that's why I set the goal of having 100 organizations, 100 partners, 100 businesses that are using the LightPay coin or the Logis coin products through XChainz, either exposing the API so they can conduct and enhance their business, being able to offer these services to their customers, being able to certify documents, being able to, for a family or an individual, anytime you go to the hospital and you got records coming from the doctor, and it's a paper document, or they put you behind some content management system where you can see your medical, you have to log in, see your medical records, export it out of that application, put it on XChainz, something that you own, something that you encrypt, something that you can allow other people to access with your permission. So not necessarily being at the point where you sign one form that basically says if any of our partners or organizations need to access that data, they can come and get it. No, no, no. Time for that is over, guys. So let's begin to get motivated in reclaiming our data. Let's find ways in which we can demonstrate the the power of distributed ledger technology and blockchain-based technology. Financial fintech, that's great. We see the movement happening already with programs being developed in terms of like what we're doing with University of Central Florida. And also being able to have our point-of-sale devices and ATM. I think that case is crystal clear. In the fintech, financial technology, that industry, they're not trying to be co-opted, kind of like what happened to the publishing space in the first .com boom and bust. Publishing companies, most of them got wiped out. What came rising out of the ashes was Amazon, basically a digital-based technology, and the publishing companies to this day, the billion-dollar publishing companies are still trying to find out how do they adapt. So with this technology, let's show all the different ways in which our LPC, LGS blockchain can be used outside of our core functionality, demonstrating the value. That's what we need to do at the end of the day. So right now we're at 10:52. I'll run, like I said, I'll run my mouth all day. My granddad was a Southern Baptist minister, and he loved to talk. And obviously you can't see now, but I'd like to be able to use my mouth and just run it, and then we go out and we help build out this industry. So 2019 as clause, I like to be in, like I said, top 100. That's the goal that I'm shooting for. 100 businesses. Dave Wilson, Mastodon and wallet support is virtually zero on Discord. Hey, I think I mentioned the other day, there was iCoin Man for the support. That's the official support personnel. If there is an issue, just begin to tag me. What is your specific issue, Dave? I know Dave asked the issue. I know we've had some questions on the YouTube channels about syncing like the mobile wallets. I gave some support online, and we had some other questions on our Twitter channel as well and gave some support. But send directly to me your question, Dave Wilson. Log on to the Discord channel. You can hit me up at it, Azanthic. I'm on Twitter as well. Like me. I'm going to turn around and I'll turn around and like you back. And even though you see about almost like 3,000, 4,000 followers on my Twitter page, if you follow me, I'm going to follow you back. I do it to give the opportunity for people to ask questions, for people to be totally accessible. If you follow me on LinkedIn, or you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I do the same thing, because there are some members of our community, they don't talk to me on Discord. They'll talk to me on LinkedIn. They don't talk to me on Discord. They'll talk to me on the Twitter channel. So the same thing now. Ask your questions here. Put the questions, send it to Like Bitcoin Americas. When we build out our Telegram channel, I want to be accessible on all of the channels to the degree that I can. So I'll make it a point to check each one every single day. And with me, yeah, like Adam, he just put his information out. There's also Gary London as well, and Azanthic, and that's AXANTHICS. So, excuse me. With that said, are there any other questions? If there are no questions, guys, I appreciate you joining the webinar, and I'll ask again, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and then let's begin to build out this community. On the 18th, once again, I'm excited. The 18th, we are officially launching XChainz with its all of its applications of XPay, XCert, and Expose. XPay being able to pay in the cryptocurrencies that sit on our platform. With XCert being able to place any document, any type of either text, XML, JSON on the blockchains that exist on XChainz. So if you want to paste information to LPC, LGS, or any other currencies added on to the website, do that as well. And at the same time, Expose, opening up the APIs where you can connect your business or build a business where it utilizes the APIs where you can make payments or allow individuals to make purchases. So we're going to open that up, and we're going to anyone who's interested in starting out to build out their profiles as well. In terms of starting out in this community, we'll start that on the 18th as well. So if you're a pen tester, and you want to be able to pen test sites, offering your services and being able to get paid in BTC, LPC, LGS, or any of the currencies on our platform, that's what we're going to do. So let's build these 100 partnership, 100 businesses. And at the end of the day, if we have 50, that's great. But my goal is to get 100. We have a 100% completion rate. And if we have to carry each other, say 2 to 3, you find yourself a battle buddy. When I was in the Army, we had battle buddies, and the battle buddies kept you accountable. The battle buddies made sure that you didn't get killed on the battlefield and they left you, you got left. So I'm not going to leave anybody behind. So that's the dedication that the goals that I'm putting out for this year, and we're going to accomplish it. So one more time, click the thumbs up, check the subscribe, and tick the little bell, and let's go out and let's build this community, guys. I appreciate everything you've done. All right, thanks again. Take care.